Hello and welcome back to these wonderful talks and sessions we're having with experts out there in the industry. And especially today, a special pleasure to have Mr. Oliver Meinzer, who is the Vice President of Global Operations and Digital Guest Experience at Marriott International. And he's also a very exemplary alumnus of Cesar Ritz Colleges, which we are very proud about. Uh, Mr. Meister, dear Oliver, welcome to this session as an honorary SEG guest speaker. And of course, we are doing these sessions and talks as part of the online MIB program that we have. And this specific module is the AI and technology driven innovation, which Oliver knows a whole lot about. And starting with that, Oliver, please do share a little bit about your journey and personal why before we start jumping in a little bit more about the topic.
Absolutely, and thank you, Max, for having me. It's always great to be with my fellow alumni and students of SEG and Cesar Ritz. So thank you. Well, I've been in industry. Good Lord, it's been many years, almost 25 years, pretty close. And I really started because I didn't know what else to do. So it was real by coincidence that I ended up in this industry, and I really loved every second since I joined. And I was lucky enough, I joined a very beautiful small luxury hotel in the Black Forest to do my apprenticeship. And from there, it just all fell in place, from working in the US, coming back to Cesar Ritz, and doing my degrees, kind of going back to the US. And and then through my relationships that I built at Cesar Ritz, I was able to reconnect to the team at Washington State University and join them to do my MBA in 2003. I graduated. And that program also gave me the chance to go back to Brig and spend some time in Brig as a faculty member, not just as a student. So I saw both sides of it, which was really interesting and exciting.
That's brilliant.
But I've been with Marriott since 2003. First half of my time with Marriott spent it on the West Coast in Seattle and then in California. For those of you that are familiar with California, Laguna Beach, Newport Beach, one of the nicest areas in the country. One of the luxuries our industry allows us to do is live at really cool places. Then from there, I went out into the California desert and then had the opportunity to join Marriott headquarters. And you know, to work for a company like Marriott in a hotel is a phenomenal experience. To then have the ability to work out of the corporate headquarters, it's a whole different story. And it was just an amazing opportunity. I took it. I was supporting some of our brands from an operations perspective. And then within a year, this notion of mobile and digital technology for our hotels came up. It's one of those things. It felt right at the time. Nobody really knew what we were doing. And so I made the decision, I want to do more of that. I want to explore it. And that started that journey in my career. And I've been in that world, the kind of balance between high tech and high touch, and helping our hotels and our organization to facilitate that, and has been an incredible opportunity.
That's amazing. We're nothing but proud to be able to bring you back and connect with you and to learn about this journey, which is incredible. And just to see also that specifically for the module, so of course, AI and technology driven innovation, and that's exactly where you jumped in. So what brought that passion and interest for that? Was it just the opportunity showing up, or you were kind of discreetly more and more passionate about it?
Well, even in my times in hotels, I was always very keen on leveraging technology to make things easier, to create better experiences for our customers. And it was, we were really on the entrepreneur side in our hotels because we really had to use like cigarette paper and duct tape to put things together, because there's really not a lot of money for things like that. And then taking that interest and then applied on a global scale and say, oh, now I actually get to play in a technology sandbox that impacts hotels around the world. I mean, that was too good to pass. And not only that, but with a technology that is up and coming. And um, that really gave me the ability to work in a almost in like a startup environment within Marriott, where nobody knew what we needed to do. So we had to figure it out ourselves. We had to pay for our own way. And now we are active with a lot of features and functionality in over 7,000 hotels around the world. We keep reinventing, we keep producing new features and functionality, which is just exciting. So 8 years in, almost 9 years in, the engine is still humming on full speed, and we keep changing the organization. We keep refining things, and it's just a fun experience being able to a um, transition or convert your everyday technology experience into the hospitality space, like what you use from home with the home automation, what you use from riding with Uber or interacting with the Apple devices. How do we bring this to life in our hotels? Uh, but then do it in a way that creates great service experience. And it's a little bit of a battle. We fought for a while. It still pops up here and there. It's like, well, this is not for our customer. Well, then you don't know your customers really well, right? Because technology savvy travelers you find in all segments, from the super limited services to all the way in the luxury space. The expectation is you have options available, and that's what we're working on. So it's been incredible.
I can imagine and that excitement is going to continue as there's new things coming. What is the number one thing that is keeping you excited right now in terms of the biggest news right now up there
I
coming
think
up or perhaps just being implemented?
one hot topic across the industry is the ability to use your phone as a mobile key.
Mm.
And anybody following Apple and their announcement last week that they're now making their Apple Wallet available for access control and for the hospitality, that's a big step forward. And I think that'll change the landscape quite a bit
Mm.
in many different ways.
Let's see. Let's see. Very exciting. Very exciting indeed. So let me connect to that, what makes me wake up every morning. And then obviously you're right in the heart of it as well, hospitality. What is that core? Do you have a couple of very few stories, special stories that you being within the hospitality, you just cannot forget about experiences?
Um, Yeah, I remember, one of the best experiences was uh, doing my apprenticeship, and that event really like blew my mind. I'm like, oh my God, this is the best industry ever. We had a couple that was renewing their vows for their 25th wedding anniversary, and they rented out the entire hotel for 4 days. They built a ballroom within our tennis court, and it was just one of those events where money is not an option. And you have big bowls of caviar in the middle of the table. It's bottle service only, and it was just an unbelievable experience to see what is possible and what we can deliver from an experience perspective. So I thought that was the first time where I'm like, I was totally in awe. Couple of years later, I joined a private golf and country club in Palm Beach, Florida, in the F&B department, and we did a lot of private events at member houses, and just to see the houses, and it's like you're in a different world again, which was like, oh my God, I have the best job in the world, right? I get to take care of people, and I get to experience things like that. And then I think one of the best experiences you can have in our industry is to open a hotel.
Mm.
To go through that 90 days prior, and get the hotel up and running, get your teams up and running, get the training done. And then the moment the doors open and the first guest comes through, and those doors will never close, the camaraderie that it
Yeah.
creates,
Yeah.
the sense of ownership. And I have two hotels that are opened in my career, and still to this day, when I visit or come by, it's always like, well, I I was part of that, and that's just something very unique that you don't really get in many other industries.
That's for sure. That's absolutely for sure. And it's so connected to people and you know the relationships within the team and colleague as well. So it just becomes this lasting
Yeah,
feeling and emotional bond, which is amazing. Wonderful. Great to hear. Thank you for sharing that, Oliver.
absolutely.
Now let's come back and jump right back in within the program, because this is a brand new thing that we're doing in terms of really bringing the programs that we have, at least one of them, to the busy professional within the industry, and trying to create the opportunity for them to really advance and learn quickly while still working full time, and really taking this further. So while having a little bit more insight within what we're doing within this program, you know, why would you recommend such a program, an online master focusing on hospitality and the latest in the business for busy professionals? Exactly.
Well, I think busy professionals like you and me, we actually know how to manage time really well. And it's hard to go back to school full time. So having the opportunity to continue your work, earn your money, and have the ability to educate yourself, I think, especially in these times now, where for the most part the notion of working remotely or being able to have a little bit more flexible work arrangements,
Mm,
it's like a perfect match, right? You can manage your time a little bit different, and use that to really enhance your skill set, to enhance your credentials, enhance your career opportunities. I think more than ever now is critical, and especially in the world of technology and data, the competition, even in the hospitality space, is pretty fierce,
yeah.
because that is an area in our industry that you don't need hotel operations experience, or you don't need the experience to have worked in a hotel. So you have to be able to set yourself apart, or at least uh, um, be at equal playing field with some of the candidates that the companies are looking at from outside of the industry. So using that opportunity to enhance your skill set with a program like this, I think is terrific. And then combine it with your hotel experience. That's the perfect combination, in my opinion, because then you actually have a great sense of what the technology means, how to apply it. Um, and that has always set me apart a little bit in our world, where I, with my MBA and my operations experience, I and then my interest in technology, I know enough about the ins and outs that I can be dangerous, but the having the ability to bring in the hotel side and the hotel perspective, it's just very unique, and not many outsiders have that or understand that. And there are a ton of nuances that are very different. Let's say from a Marriott or Hilton or Accor
Mm.
environment than there would be working for a financial institution, working for a telecom company or anything like that. So having that combination, I think, is amazing.
Absolutely spot on. Couldn't agree more, actually. Very good points you made there. Thank you so much for sharing that, Oliver. Absolute pleasure. We're actually soon going to have the live session with you. I'll definitely be listening and tuning in on that as well. Time management, but I'll be there because this is going to be full of nice takeaways and learning. Thank you so much once again, Oliver.
No
What a
pressure.
pleasure.
Thank you.
And I certainly hope that in the near future, we're able to kind of actually connect physically. If you're here physically, or we're able to travel back over to the U.S. soon to actually drop by and say hi
That
at the
would be great.
headquarters of
Would love
Marriott
that.
International.
Absolutely. It'll be a brand new one as of next year. We're building a
Look at
new
that.
office building. Yep.
Oh, then it's a must. Then.
That's right.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Oliver.
Thank you, Max. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody.